Hello and welcome to yourlocalnote.com live video streaming interview with Ben Kessler. We're going to be talking with Ben in just a little bit. First, we're going to play a song called I'm Here, and then we'll talk to him about his music. He'll join us in just a few minutes. But just want to remind you, here at yourlocalnote.com, this is the place to come to find out the information about what's going on in the Philadelphia music scene. We've got a concert calendar. You can find out where your favorite bands are playing. We stream 24/7. You can download our apps for free. Just go to the respective stores and type in YLN and download it. Also, don't forget that we have a brand new video cast every single week, and we got them in the archives too. So if you miss it, you can catch it there. So like I said, anything that's going on in the Philadelphia music scene, we're trying to be on top of it here at yourlocalnote.com. Okay, Ben Kessler up in just a couple minutes. Right now, we're going to listen to his song. It's called I'm Here on yourlocalnote.com.
When time runs up between you and me, when this road takes a turn we can't foresee, you'll know exactly how to be. So let go and start being free. 'Cause I'll be here. I'm here. I can see the sadness in your eyes, love and reflection worth 1,000 cries. They say happiness comes with time, so leave this world with a smile. Please leave this world with a smile. 'Cause I'll be here. I'm here. Let go and start being free. Reach out and break away from this tree. 'Cause you don't need me. 'Cause you don't need
That's Ben Kessler. The song is called I'm Here. It's from his album, The Start. Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, very cool. Let's talk about, before we get to the music, the song, The Start, let's talk about how you got into music. Obviously, you're not a grizzled veteran like myself, but did you start like did you walk first or did you play an instrument first?
Oh, no. It's a tough one. Just kidding. So I started when I was about 5 or 6. I got a guitar, and then that was, I say play guitar loosely,
right?
Because that was,
Were you banging on the strings, hurting your fingers,
music.
trying to hold down the strings?
Not much music, and then I didn't really take lessons. But I remember when I actually remembered this past week when I started writing. My dad had one of those little handheld recorders.
Right.
They still make them, but
yes.
you have phones now. But
yes.
He had one of those, and I remember I played.
I have one of those.
Yes, I have one of those too. And I was in his office, and then I played, God knows what I played. And
Right.
then I remember I'm like, yeah, I wrote a song, and then we had it recorded, but
Okay.
it's since been lost. But yeah, that was my little foray into songwriting.
Okay.
Not really, but then I went to School of Rock, which
Okay.
we talked about.
Right, School of Rock, but you've been to other schools too, right?
Briefly, but School of Rock is where I spent most of my time, and
Okay.
Amy and everyone, Jim and everyone there is.
Yeah, we actually had them, and this
Yeah,
is
I
how we were
remember. Yes.
introduced to you, was the fact that we had them on, and we said, tell us, about the school, because we want to give them publicity. We're obviously big supporters of music, and then feature 4 different artists that you think, is doing a really good job, and they featured you, and it was it sounded great, and the other stuff we've listened to, it sounds really good.
Thank you.
So keep up what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so you talked a little about writing your first song. When did you really start getting serious about writing music?
So that was like my really unofficial thing. I just kind of threw that out there. But so at School of Rock, I met Chris Calder, who's a local Philly musician. He's a teacher there. And,
Okay.
He kind of took me under his wing, and he had a songwriting program, so I did that for a couple years. And he introduced me to theory and songwriting, and we had songwriting lessons for, I don't know, a year or so every week. And he introduced me to recording too, which is how I got into recording all my stuff.
Okay.
So basically, he was really my into
Everything, the
into
world of music.
everything, really. And now that as I kind of move forward, it's really, really, really helpful that I know, or that I guess I came in at all those different angles.
Well, I mean, it gives you a wider base to do different things with your career. I mean, if one part doesn't work out too well, you can do something else. Yeah. And obviously, it's something you love to do.
So yeah, from there, I just kind of was writing songs, but I really didn't start getting my name out there until August. I think I went to my first open mic with Boy Wonder at World Cafe Live. Actually,
how scary was that?
It was, I don't know, I performed quite a bit at School of Rock, so it wasn't anything terribly new, but I was alone, and that was new, scary, and it was performing my original stuff, which was scary, but I don't know, I've kind of gone through several phases in the past year of my songwriting.
Okay. Well, let's talk about specifically "I'm Here" from the album "The Start." What is this song about?
Well, actually, I don't know. It's a loaded question, because when I write songs, this one too, they kind of stem from general ideas.
Okay. So is it safe to say that you start with the music first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so you get your music down, and then you match it up with words.
Yeah, and that's because that's, I guess, how I started playing guitar. I started playing, and then I started singing. Sure. I started playing, then I started writing. So I kind of, what I do is I have a list on my phone of lyric ideas and ideas in general, and that I record, little recordings of guitar ideas that I kind of flesh out. And, it's easier to do that for me because I don't need to be consciously thinking of words or ideas. It's just kind of making music or making what sounds right. Okay. And then I kind of sync them together.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is with music, and I'm sure you're getting this as you go along, I mean, experience is huge. Yeah. Sure. And the more you do it, the more options you're going to have, especially when it comes to songwriting. Yeah. Because a lot of songwriters write from experience. They have to live whatever they're writing about. If it affected their lives, that's what they write about. And then you have some songwriters who like to tell stories. Yeah. They'll get a little bit of an idea and then they tell the stories. Yeah. So I'm always fascinated by the writing process.
Yeah. And just to add on that, I'm really I'm finding now, since I released The Start in December, it was early December, I've really I have a whole different approach to songwriting now than I did then, which is kind of crazy because it really wasn't long ago, but I approach it so much differently now than I did before, and I probably will 3 months from now, but that's
5 years from now,
5 years
10 years from now. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's an interesting art, I guess.
Well, I think the important thing is that you recognize that your writing style probably will change throughout the years, and this way you're open to that, and you'll let it come naturally instead of trying to say, well, this is the only way I can write songs.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Do you have someone that you share your thoughts with, just to say, hey, I'm working on this, what do you think? Is it still someone from the School of Rock, or is it a friend, other friends who are musicians?
It changes, really. I don't know. I could go back to the beginning of this school year, which is really when I base my real songwriting, when that kind of really started.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I talked to Chris, guys at the School of Rock, and my family, if they're lucky sometimes.
If they're lucky.
I only say if they're lucky. That's not something
you don't like to share with them?
I don't. Yeah, you can ask my mom. I don't play things at home for them often. So
she's saying no, and she already told us we can't ask her questions.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you like to keep with people who are peers.
Yeah, and people, I guess, that know what they're doing, or people that can redirect me in a way that I didn't think about before.
Right.
Which is, I guess, ultimately the goal of
absolutely
songwriting.
Okay, very cool. Let's go to song number 2, which is going to be played live, right? Okay, so we'll get you set up here. The song is called We Think We Know. Now, this is a song that is going to be on a future EP that you're working on.
Yes, it's very much in the process.
Okay.
So it's not near finished. It's not near anything really. Okay,
but and the thing is, you record your own stuff, and we're going to talk about that next time. After we get done with this song. So the song is called "We Think We Know." This is a brand new song. This is a song that is getting a preview right here on yourlocalnote.com as we hang with Ben Kessler tonight.
Cool. All right, here we go. Let me fix that. Very good.
Now here begins your little show, and there we are going till the fire turns to coal. And the ash of the losers all we know. Now I'll sympathize with this lack of empathy, 'cause this feeling, it ain't feeling between you and me. We think we know. Through the echoes of our broken souls, we think we know. We think we know. Now we're dwelling on what we knew, feeling fine 'cause it was all you, and we're dancing like fools, saying this and that are the sole truth. Now I'll sympathize with this lack of empathy, 'cause this feeling, it ain't feeling between you and me. We think we know. Through the echoes of our broken souls, we think we know. We think we know. And to think we've made it this far, built on our broken scars, lost in who we think we are. And to take our feelings are so thin, oh, we need them still begin, and it starts from within. think we know. Through the echoes of our broken souls, we think we know. We think we know.
Very nice. Ben Kessler. The song is called We Think We Know. This is yourlocalnote.com as we're hanging with Ben tonight. So this is a song that you basically have put together. You haven't recorded it yet, have you?
Not yet.
Okay.
I recorded rough.
A demo.
Very rough demo.
Okay. So that song could change when you finally get into the studio and start recording?
Very much. I almost hope it does.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because artists get married to songs,
right?
And it's kind of a bad thing,
okay,
I guess, in a way, because you don't want it to change. And I've accepted that fact, and I'm open for things to move around a bit.
How many songs do you have ready to go for your new album at this point?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's the best answer I can give.
Okay. Do you have a whole bunch of songs written, and then you got to pick and choose which ones you want to record?
I have a ton of songs written since the start. I have a select few that I really want to have on the EP, and then I have more that I want to write. Okay. That I know I want to write, and that I know.
So you is it something where it's like you have X number that you're going to put on the EP that's already written, and then you may tweak with a little bit, and then there's a certain number of songs that you want to just have brand new?
I guess a little bit of both. So yeah, okay. I guess you're right.
Okay. I got to write this date down. I'm right about something. Usually Mike is like, oh, jeez. So, the song We Think We Know, what is that about?
So when I was writing the song, I didn't really know. I guess I don't.
Okay.
But the more I look back at it, I kind of remember what was going through my head subconsciously.
Okay.
And I guess it's about how tense my family is. And I don't say that to spite my family.
Okay, it's just part of life.
But it's true. Our family is quite tense. And,
okay.
I mean, that's just one interpretation really of it.
Well, every family is different. I remember my wife, before we were married, we were coming home from a Thanksgiving dinner, and my wife grew up in the Midwest in a small family, and my family's a little bit larger on Long Island, so we're a little bit louder. And that's when she turned to me and she says, God, your family is so loud. And I didn't think anything of it. And I told my parents, and to this day, years later, my wife is still mortified that the fact that I told my family that she thought we were loud.
And that, I guess, three-dimensional or the transparent nature of writing songs so you can kind of interpret it different ways is something that I'm finding in my own songs that I've already written.
That you wrote it one way and it could be interpreted by someone else a different way.
Yeah, and now I'm experimenting with doing the opposite, writing it with a bunch of, it has to be consistent, but writing it from a bunch of different angles. Mm-hmm. And I know it's going to mean this, and this, but
it could mean something else to someone else.
I kind of think of a song as like almost like a skeleton for the listener.
Sure.
So I fill in enough. This is actually an idea that I kind of borrowed from a band, the Pigpen Theater Company.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of them.
I have not, but that's okay.
They're kind of new.
Are they from around this area?
No, they met out in Pittsburgh. And they've been touring now. But anyhow, one of the guys said that they give just enough information to keep the listener going, but not too much that it's like this, and this. And
sure.
I know. I heard that a couple months ago, and it's kind of resonated with me, and that's what I'm now trying to do, and that's why I look at songwriting differently now than I did when I wrote the start.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, very cool. You mentioned before, and let's get a little more into it, the fact that you record your own stuff. This is something you want to do besides songwriting. Recording is very interesting. How did you get involved in that?
So like I mentioned, Chris Calder, who has a really, really nice home setup, and I know has had several different studio setups. So he was always very and is very in the know with all that stuff, and kind of passed that along to me. So my uncle actually had an old audio interface, an old Tascam audio interface from 2002 or whatever. It still uses Firewire, which is I guess, ancient now.
Yes.
Seriously, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have said that even. It's not ancient.
Making me feel good. Go ahead.
I mean, I use it. I'm young. But
whatever works, right?
I guess. Anyhow, he gave me this old thing, but it's nice. He wanted to use it for video editing. Never did. So I
you
took
got
it, put it in my room, and then got a mic, same first mic that I got. Just learned how to use it. And YouTube videos and Chris and other people and blogs have kind of helped me pave the way.
So in a way, you're getting taught a little bit, but you're also teaching yourself.
I mean, yeah, because every new song that I do is a different, there's something to learn, something new to learn.
Right.
Like if I'm recording a demo of sorts and I need to use one mic to get a decent take to balance the guitar and the vocals, and if it's like a very dynamic song, I have to figure out what to do with that. And if it's a song with just vocals and guitar and drums, I have to figure out the right balance of that. And every song is every track is different.
And do you have friends that help you play like the different instruments?
No, on the start it was, let's see, I sang, I recorded the guitar and then the piano. I recorded, but I don't play piano, so that was a lot of help from my computer.
Okay.
I mean, not too much. Yeah, a lot.
A lot of help. Okay.
Because I really don't play piano.
And do you play drums?
No, so that was actually sequence programmed in with
okay, so
a
you're
drum
using,
pad.
but you do play several instruments.
Yeah, and then I played bass, and then.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I could have probably played. No, I probably couldn't have.
Okay.
I'm thinking aloud.
But
here.
you're putting it together.
Yeah.
Everything is put together by yourself.
Yes. Up until now.
Are you contemplating? I mean, you do play live now, but it's just yourself. Are you contemplating trying to put a band together?
I mean, I only started really playing out in August, and I think it was best, and I guess in a way it still is, for me just to figure out how to perform just an acoustic guitar, because it's much more intimate. I mean, not in all settings, but much more intricate as well. So it's like you're on a big, even though it's not a very big instrument, you're being amplified. So every little thing has some sort of significance.
Right.
So I kind of like working around a guitar-based performance, but then I think it also adds something more to the performance in a way, because there's less. But yeah, of course, I want to play with the band as well.
So eventually you're going to get to that. You obviously...
That's just where I'm at now.
Right. I was going to say, you obviously have a plan set, and you want to accomplish certain things in different periods that you're doing. Mm-hmm. So right now it's, let me get comfortable on stage, let me get comfortable with my guitar, and how I want to present myself on stage. Yeah. And then you're going to then try to get other people to add to the band as you go. As far as recording, then, do you see yourself then eventually going to another studio and have the songs produced there instead of doing it yourself?
For sure. I guess I feel it's the next logical step.
Okay.
Only because I feel there's only so much I can give to my own songs that it's important that I have
someone else, different set of ears.
Least one person, kind of coming at it, and then of course people who know how to play their instruments. Right. Like I'm primarily guitar, and then vocals is kind of come along for the ride.
Okay.
And then
if you ran into someone who you felt was a better singer, would you sort of have them sing for you, or is that no, you want to continue working on your singing?
Yeah. I mean, now I don't think of myself like primarily as a guitarist, and I don't think of myself at all primarily as a vocalist, but I think of myself as a unit now.
A musician,
I guess.
Okay.
And
you want to keep developing this.
Yeah, and I think it's a matter of developing both separately and then finding a way to put it together.
Okay.
In a seamless manner.
Okay, well,
which isn't all too easy.
Well, I think it goes together naturally, the singing and the playing.
Well,
And,
Yeah.
you know, as you develop as a guitar player, you're probably going to develop better as a singer, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the great thing about being a musician. You're always getting better. You know, and where you are now and where you're going to be in 10 years, you're going to look back and say, oh, I can't believe I was doing that.
I mean, even if I look back, because I started recording my stuff in like 7th grade. I'm in 10th grade now. So
Okay.
3 or so years ago was when I really recorded my first song.
He likes to just reiterate how old we are, right? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I hate that stuff now.
No, I understand.
I guess I can appreciate some of it.
Right.
But I'm not gonna kind of take it back.
Well,
to the
you're
drawing
you're
board.
in a stage where you're really in a learning stage, and,
Yeah,
and you
for
shouldn't
sure.
be looking
For
back
sure.
too much.
I'm looking back like, what the heck was I doing?
Well, and you're looking back to learn. You were doing that. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Type of stuff. Okay.
For sure.
You mentioned some of the songs that you are looking to write. Again, this is just stuff that will pop into your head when you're developing a song. It starts with the music. Do you have to start... If you start something, do you have to finish it in one setting, or can you do something and then come back to it?
So that's something I've been. I mean, it's a learning experience, like you just said. So that's something I'm experimenting with now.
Okay.
So usually I like I said, I come up with a riff on the guitar, and that might be like it's often a whole entire song, and that's often changed with the vocals. But I start with something there, and then I also start with a lyrical idea or lyrical concept that I then kind of infuse into a story that I match with the guitar. So actually sometimes what I find myself doing is writing something on guitar, and then something just comes out of nowhere, just pops into my head that fits nicely with those chords or that riff, and then I look back at my notes, and then I find something that I wrote down, and I'm like, that's somewhat profound sounding, and that is compliant with that phrase that I just said, and it works, and that's, I guess, lucky that that happens often, which is very lucky.
Okay.
And yeah, kind of go from there. But now, like what you're saying, is writing a song in a sitting. I found myself very crunched for time, so a lot of songs that I've been writing recently have been half written, and then
you come back to it.
I just finished a song last night, for example, that I hadn't played in 3 weeks or so, which is not that long, but it feels long for me because I'm used to starting one song, living on it, and then stopping it, and then moving on to the next.
Right.
So now it's kind of all up in my head, and demos recorded, but it's kind of a lot to manage at once.
Okay. Do you use a notepad to write stuff down, or are you recording everything?
Yeah. I have, so I have like this, actually my brother, he was in Portugal, and he brought me this, they have a lot of cork there. I guess they're famous for cork.
Okay.
So he brought me a cork notebook.
Sure.
And for whatever reason, I kind of went from a composition book, which is my first release that I have since taken away. But I moved on from that to this cork notebook, which I have everything in now. And that's only finished songs.
Okay.
And then all my ideas I just put on my phone because I want to...
Okay.
Once they come in, I have to push them out.
Sure.
I got it.
All right. We'll let's play song number 3. It's called Ocean. Now, this is a cover from your first EP, 3 EP. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll. I know you've got to do a little tuning here, so we'll let you do that as we get ready. And just remind everyone here at yourlocalnote.com, we're hanging with Ben Kessler, and we're talking about his music. He's got his last album out. Was called The Start. That came out late last year, and then most of the songs are from The Start, and then we've got this song, 3 EP. The song Ocean is from 3 EP, so we will play this song now, and then the last song he'll play is a song that was recorded. So 2 live songs tonight. The first song was We Think We Know, and that was a preview. And how are you doing? You ready to go?
Let's see. So this song sounds really bad when it's not in tune.
Okay.
At least to me.
Got to do a little more tuning. All Remember, we will have another Vidcast next Monday. A brand new Vidcast on the site that will be featured. This week's featured Vidcast is the Williams Boys, so you can check that out. Ready to go, Ben?
I am very ready to go.
Okay, the song is called Ocean. It's from his EP called 3EP, and this is yourlocalnote.com. All right, Ben Kessler. The song is called Ocean. It's from his EP called 3 EP. This is yourlocalnote.com. Ben, why did you pick that song to record for your song 3 EP? Because that's not a song you originally put together.
No, it's actually by John Butler. And my friend, she's a guitar player as well, and she sent me a link to a video on Facebook and said, yo, check this out, because we have similar stylistic preferences. And she's and I commented, oh, I have to learn that before I die. And then I learned it like 2 weeks later. I started learning it, and that was at about the time I was starting to put together the first EP.
All right.
Or the 3 EP, which to this day I forget why I titled it that.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyhow, I put that together, and it was an instrumental EP, so it fit nicely.
Oh, so all the songs on the EP are instrumentals?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a quick backstory behind that. I'm in a class at school that's primarily project-based and group work. So anyhow, we were given this independent project, and we could essentially do whatever we want. And I had no time to record, and I could do whatever I want. So, of course, I chose music.
Music, sure.
And I guess I chose to do an instrumental because I just didn't feel like writing lyrics and singing.
Okay.
I guess I just wasn't comfortable with that. But I started writing this, and I learned that, and messed with different recording techniques and stuff. And yeah, it was a good learning experience.
Do you see yourself going to college and focusing on music, or is that something you may put off and just focus on music on yourself?
No idea.
You have no idea. Okay.
I don't see. I can see really far into the past. I just can't see past like. Actually, I don't know. I have a plan. I just don't know
if college is involved in the plan.
No, of course, college is involved in the plan. I just don't know what I'm going.
Oh, okay. You may do something else. Music may just be the fun hobby that you do, and then have something else that
I'm just seeing where it leads me, I guess.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to go to school, though.
Okay.
I want to go to college.
Okay. It's always a good experience.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit before. I mean, you basically have been playing since you can remember. Influences. Do you look at? I mean, obviously, John Butler. You said is a song that is it just that song, or is it a lot of different songs that John does that you like? You like his style? Are there other people that you sort of looked at and said, yeah, I like what they do, and try to not copy it, but sort of get yourself into that type of I guess genre.
So I always forget my influences. It's like my weak point.
Okay.
I just can't remember them. But yeah, there's John Butler, and then the other John Mayer, which I listen to quite a bit, and I think I have to stop listening to so much because my writing is too much influenced by his.
Okay.
In a way.
So you got to.
It's almost a bad thing. Yeah. So there's John Mayer, John Butler, Jason Mraz, Jack Johnson, Dave Matthews, and all those guys, and then there's Bonnie there, and I'm really bad at this. Yeah. Okay. Because I did an interview a while ago, and I was stumped again, and I was supposed to
write this stuff down.
It's okay. I mean, if you look at my iPod, which I don't have with me, right? But if you look at that,
there's all sorts of music on there.
Yeah. Just remind me at the end of this, and I'll think of some. I'll remember some.
Okay. So, I mean, you don't just listen to John Mayer and that type. You listen to all different types of music.
I'm also, I don't know. I'm into a bunch of different genres. Of course, I love. I shouldn't say of course because a lot of people don't like folk music, but I like folk music. Brett Dennen. I meant to say Bob Dylan, but I was thinking Brett Dennen too.
Yeah,
I guess Brett Dennen's kind of
Bob
folk.
Dylan got famous with folk, and then he changed.
And then I've also been listening. This isn't folk, but to a lot of Fleetwood Mac recently.
Okay.
It's a lot of old kind of stuff.
Old. There's that word again.
Well, if you listen to today's music,
that's classic.
That's nothing like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fleetwood Mac is, and the funny thing is, in doing this, talking to a lot of young musicians like yourself, there are plenty of them who are influenced by bands like Fleetwood Mac, the Beatles, and Rolling Stones, and things like that.
All of them.
Yeah. So, which at first, when I started doing this, I didn't expect to hear that, but it was something that I found very interesting. That some of these artists who are 50 years old, I mean, just some of their songs are 50 years old, and yet people who are very young and weren't around when they did this are like, well, this is something I really like and think it's really cool, and I want to be something like that. So we've done the influences. Where can people find your music?
So it's benkesslermusic.com, facebook.com/benkesslermusic.
Okay.
twitter.com/benkesslermusic. And then each one will take you to everything else. So you just remember one of them, then you'll be good. And it's
there. Do you find it difficult keeping up with social media along with writing your music and things like that?
Yeah, it's actually, it's tough. I mean, just thinking of Twitter's easier, I guess, because it's short and the average life of a tweet is 3 to 4 minutes or something like that. Right. So it's not as vital that you, I don't know, each post doesn't have to be as substantial. Right. And then Facebook posts, which is where I guess I primarily am, I don't know, it just doesn't come naturally to me. I have to think of stuff to say. Sure. And I guess that's tough.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do/did. Okay. It's currently there, but
you haven't been on it in a while.
Yeah, I was active on it. I mean, that's really what kind of prompted me to start playing out. I guess it evolved from the EP to the YouTube thing, and then to playing out, and then to where I am now, which is
all right. Let's talk about where you're playing out. Some of the shows coming up.
May 18th, which is this Sunday, is the Philadelphia Songwriters Project Finals at Underground Arts. So
what is that? How did you get involved with that?
So I found the Philadelphia Songwriters Project online, and that's basically a nonprofit for singer songwriters that I guess it's networking showcases, and they are.
Is this open to the public?
Yeah, but primarily Philadelphia, hence the Philly Songwriters Project. But anyhow, they're known for this contest that they hold every year, and it's I know it attracts a lot of singer-songwriters from the area. They submit songs.
But in order to participate like that, you have to be invited.
Well, no, anyone can enter into the contest, and then it goes through, I think, 2 panels of judges, and then it ended up with 10 or 11 of us, and then there's also 3 young songwriters. So yeah, I'm not going to name them because I'm going to forget.
Okay, yeah, and you don't want to offend anybody. Okay, the important thing is you. We just got to talk about you here, right?
Yeah.
So,
I guess so.
Are you going to be performing then?
Yeah, so I'll be performing Sunday 4 p.m. I think tickets are now $15 or so.
Okay, and where is it?
Underground Arts in Philly on, I forget the address, somewhere in...
What's that? The link is below the video. Oh, we got the link below the video right now. Cool. Mike has been really good about telling me that kind of stuff.
So yeah, check that. I don't know where I am on the screen.
That's okay.
Here?
Down. Point down.
I mean, but... Okay. It's there.
Just kidding. All right. Very good. What other shows you got?
So after that, I was just added to a show at World Cafe Live upstairs on Friday, May 23rd.
Nice.
So that should be fun.
Good.
And that's at 8 p.m. and I think I go on at 8 p.m. And then there's Mugshots Coffee House. I think I'll be playing there. I know I will be playing there.
All right.
On Saturday afternoon. And then after that...
What's the date on Saturday afternoon?
This 24th.
The 24th.
May 24th.
Okay. May 24th.
And then I think that's all I got for May.
Okay.
And then the summer is still very much in the works, but I'm playing with David Wilcox at the Tin Angel on June 7th, which is... It got postponed from the winter time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very nice. Well, any shows you have, please pass on to us.
Will do.
And then we'll get that on the concert calendar. Yes. Excellent. Very good. Well, Ben, really appreciate hanging out with you and talking to you about your music. The songs sound great. You've got a bright future, and we want to be part of it. So we hope to hear from you again. And the last song is called Dreamer. And it's from the
The Start.
Start. Is that an album or an EP?
It's an 4-song EP. It's
EP, okay.
benkessler.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
You want to put that? Yeah. I don't know if you're that good.
No. Okay.
Well, it's all the links are intertwined in some way. Just remember
Excellent.
Ben Kessler music. And
then
it'll get you somewhere.
You'll find some stuff. Okay. Very good. Dreamer. What is this song about?
So this is about, I guess, writing in general in a way and how I approach it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give away really any of the lyrics, but it's kind of...
You want people to listen to it and interpret themselves.
I guess there's that, and like I was saying, each song doesn't have a definitive thing.
Right.
And I also wrote this a long time ago, so as for specifically what I was thinking, I can't remember. But as lyrically how it's structured is each line is builds off the previous one and then foreshadows the next one.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I guess you'll listen to it. You'll see what I
We'll
mean.
see. Okay, very good. What you're going to need to do now, Ben, because you're going to be doing more and more interviews, you're going to have to write down what these different songs were about. So this way you can just...
I actually started that last night. I'm a day ahead of you.
Okay. Very good.
I was thinking about that last night.
Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We will we'll have you back again because you're working on a new EP. Yes. So when you get that done, let us know so we can get you back here and talk about that.
Thank you.
All right. Before we get to the last song, just want to remind everyone we'll have a new vidcast on Monday. And, of course, we'll have a live vidcast coming up again on Monday. So we don't want to confuse you. We'll have one on our homepage, which is recorded and will be there for the entire week. And then, of course, we'll have a live vidcast, and that will be on Monday. So keep it right here at yourlocalnote.com to find out who it is. And of course, it'll be about 7:30 is when we'll get it on. Don't forget, we got the concert calendar where you can find out where your favorite bands and musicians are playing. Also, we stream music 24/7, and then Mike and I do a update. We try to do it every week where we talk about the latest happenings in the Philadelphia music scene. Okay, wrapping things up with Ben Kessler. The song is called Dreamer. It's from his EP, The Start, and this is yourlocalnote.com.
They say write like a reader and read like a thinker. So I think like a believer, 'cause I believe I am the dreamer. I believe I am the dreamer. Yes, a dreamer. I'll sing like a poet, but I won't let myself know, for interpretation lies within a believer. So I'll sing like a dreamer. Yeah, I'll sing like a dreamer. Stop at the sky.